It's buzzing in New York City today, and I've got the tea on apartment hunting, and the timing could not be more perfect. Today, this city hosts its very first World Cup game, plus the Knicks play in Game 5 of the NBA Finals right here at Madison Square Garden. And we are in the middle of a heat wave with temperatures sitting around 95 degrees for days. I'm filming around midday to beat the hotter afternoon heat, and that's exactly what today's episode is all about. Here's something most people moving to New York don't think about until it's too late. It doesn't matter if you arrive in summer or in winter, there are laws governing the temperature inside your apartment, and knowing them could save you real money. 4 months ago, the city was buried under a bomb cyclone. Right now, it's a sauna. New York City has laws for both extremes, but they're not equal, and the gap between them could cost you your health. New York City's heat law requires landlords to maintain your apartment at a minimum of 68 degrees Fahrenheit during the day and 62 degrees overnight from October 1st through May 31st every year. Now, here's where landlords try to get clever. Mine told me, and I'm quoting directly, that this was an average of all rooms that needed to meet the legal limit, meaning if your living room was warm, it could drag up the average, and your freezing bedroom would technically be compliant. That is not what the law says. I looked it up. The coldest room in your apartment must not fall below 68 degrees. It is not an average. If your landlord refuses to fix it, you have real tools. HPD, the city's Housing Preservation and Development Office, can send an investigator to physically measure the temperature in your apartment. If it falls below the legal limits, your landlord gets a violation. Lack of adequate heating is classified as a Class C violation. That means it's immediately hazardous, and fines can stack up to the tens of thousands of dollars if the landlord ignores HPD. You can also request a rent reduction while the heating issue remains unresolved. HPD's contact info is linked below. Now, here's the part that matters on a day like today. Right now, in a scorching heat wave, your landlord is not legally required to do a single thing about the temperature inside your apartment. Nothing. But stick with me because change is coming. One of my short-term relocation rentals had no internal windows, no cross ventilation, no air circulation within the central areas of the apartment of any kind. In summer, it was a breeding ground for heat, humidity, bugs, and every airborne virus imaginable. You'd open the front door and a wall of dead air, stinking of hot garbage juice, would slap you in the face. And legally, my landlord owed us renters nothing. Nearly 600 New Yorkers die every year from extreme heat, and the most common factor among these deaths is the absence of cooling at home. The number of days exceeding 86 degrees in New York City has more than doubled over the last 50 years, from 14 days in the 1970s to 32 days today. But change is on the way. The city has finally acted. A new law passed in January 2026 will require landlords to provide air conditioning, either central cooling or units in sleeping areas, upon tenant request, with full enforcement beginning June 1st, 2030. During the cooling season from June 15th to December 15th, landlords must maintain temperatures at or below 78 degrees when it's 82 degrees or hotter outside. But there are things in this law you need to know before you celebrate. Tenants are responsible for the electricity costs of running the air conditioning, and if you're in a rent-stabilized apartment, your landlord can apply for a permanent rent increase tied to the cost of installing the unit. The law's a win, but read the fine print. Until 2030, be very deliberate about what ventilation, windows, and cooling your rental unit has before you sign anything. Ask specifically. Get it in writing if you can. For the next episode in this series, I Googled the address. I walked by the apartment. I did everything right, and I still almost got scammed out of thousands. And then I walked into a Bank of America branch to shut that con's accounts down. That drops next. Follow. You don't want to miss it.